How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You signing or what?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying connecting, but difficulty in terms of sound. Are you hearing me well?
Yeah, I can. I can hear you with no problem.
Yeah. Well, let me turn on as I don't know what exactly happened.
Yeah.
But I can see you well.
You got the same link.
Well, I can't hear you very well. I don't know if my headphone.
No.
But the sound is just so slow.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. Yes, I'm also hearing you, but not really loud. Something that should turn up.
Okay, just got the same link then.
Let me just switch off my headphone now. I can hear you well. Now, not really. Now, are you hearing me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yes. Let me switch on again. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, yeah. Go to Zoom. Go to Zoom.
Yeah. I'm now on Zoom.
No, you're not on Zoom.
Are we now using the Zoom? No.
Go to Zoom because you are using Facebook. Go to Zoom.
May I go to Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me try.
Yeah. Oh, we're confused over here. A lot of people are thinking that we're going to be using the line on Facebook. Say no. Just use a normal line on Zoom and we should be good. Okay, Mr. Puna is on. Let's see if Miss Conde is going to sign in and some other people. Hello, Mr. Puna, how are you?
Mas então, se o destino vão dar uma vaza, onde ficam?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
Excellent. That's what I was looking for. So you're the first one to join in. Let's see if some other people will join in as usual.
Okay.
So thank you very much for joining me today. So as I said yesterday, I mean, we live Facebook, everything we're saying. Live, I mean, people can see you, so as usual. And thank you very much for joining. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see you, but although a little bit dark, I don't know. You are inside, but I think the lamp is not very well there. I don't know. I can see you like with the darkness.
I hear you. What about the screen? Can you see my screen?
Right, I can see your screen now. Yeah, I can see.
Okay.
But you're still alone. Yes, I see your screen. Yes.
Thank you very much. Anyway.
Yeah. So our family there.
No, family is all good. Let's see Thomas Lungu in. So family is all good. Can't complain. What about you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Quite well. Very well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's Thomas
we are.
Sign in.
Is Thomas getting in?
Yeah, he's on already.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Thomas, how are you? You driving? Hey, Thomas, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, brothers. I'm good. And you?
Yeah, fine too. Yes. Yeah.
You driving? Where you going? You're going to Luanda, Bengo? Where you going?
Actually, I'm on the street. I'm here at the land, and I don't want to miss the training today. So if I get home, I may be a little late. So I decided just to use my phone and.
But are you driving? Are you driving?
No, I'm not driving.
You stopped. Okay, because it's not good driving and looking on screen. Okay.
It
For
is
sure,
not.
for sure.
It's
Yeah.
I'm not
unsafe. So just for
Yeah.
your information, we're live on Facebook. A lot of people can see you. I believe we have some other people, friend of mine, you know, they went to my Facebook page and they're able to see what we're talking about and all this and that. Just for your information, we're live on Facebook. So Mr.
Thank you.
Conde hasn't signed in yet. I don't know if he is in some problems or difficulty, but at least we have two guys on the line. Let's give him 2 more minutes. If not, then we can start with our training today. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see.
So thank you very much. That's the training for today. And thank you very much for being on the line today.
Yeah. Mr. Puna, so how are you doing there? Lubango, how is everything?
Yeah, Lubang's okay. As you see that Lubang is becoming the new Dubai in Angola, you see. Yeah, well, everything's going well. Although with this situation we are living, that you know, but in terms of social life, yeah, everything's okay. Our families are okay. Your family as well is okay here, and so we are trying to see our situation of living life, and in terms of activities, okay, everything's okay, going well.
Very good. Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
So we're struggling with this coronavirus. As you know, Luanda is the epicenter.
Yeah, epicenter, yes. You're the honor of the hellness, yes.
Yeah, the fucking hell, yeah. But,
Yeah. That's why you're forbidden to come here. And keep on always there, please. Don't move up from there. We don't need you now here.
Well, that is the problem, though. That is the problem.
Yeah.
yeah, it is still a big issue, big concern, you know, safety and, you know. But, you know, God will give us a solution for sure.
Yeah, of course. And the solicitors is coming now because the situation are reducing. Yeah, if you can see the results, we are recovering new people coming up from the hospital. You see, this means that the situation is coming up.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So, Thomas, I believe you have a finger in your camera. If you position yourself well for us to see you, okay, now it's okay, I believe.
All right.
So,
thank you.
It's 8 minutes past 12. I think we need to start on time and finish on time, as our mentor John Maxwell tells us. It's a must do that. Again, thank you very much for joining me on this training today. It's a leadership goal training. I believe we started weeks before. I believe today is a week number 9 or week number 8. We are about to finish, about to complete the training. And then I believe we are not the same person since we started this training. So I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute to introduce yourself and let us know where you're calling from and what is the the aim for this training today. Let me start from Mr. Thomas.
Hi guys, thank you very much. I'm Thomas Lungu. I'm calling from Luanda. I'm part of John Maxwell team, coach, training, and speaking. So it's my pleasure today as a leader, to add some more value in my leadership growth and see if I can still add some value to my colleagues as well. So that's the aim of our leadership training.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Puna, it's all yours now.
Yes, yes. As usual, I'm always in Lubango, talking from Lubango. As you know that I've been living here for almost 19 years old. So, well, it means that now keep going, learning these trainees and trying to share the information about this team. And I believe that many things we are hearing today and we are learning today. So that's why I'm ready for keeping sharing today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being on the call today for this training. I tell you what, you guys are really an asset for this training. So moving on, the chapter that we are going to study today, chapter number 22. And chapter number 22 on the Leadership Gold Book for John says, for everything you gain, you give up something. See, guys, when I was reading the book itself and when I came up to this chapter, I said, wow, this really makes sense. Let me repeat that again. For everything you gain, you give up something. It's absolutely right. And to be honest with you, I can't say no. This is right. You leave something and then you gain something. You gain something, of course, you have to give up on something. Now, the question that I have for the team today is, what is your comment about this statement? I have explained what I understood about this statement right there. So let me start with Thomas. What is your understanding or comment about when for everything you gain, you give up something?
Yeah, thank you, Simon, for the word. I want to say that this statement is absolutely true, and it works in my life. And this is something that I've been living daily. I want to give a quick example on myself. When I started the leadership training on John Maxwell team, you know, there were a lot of things that I had to give up. Mainly those, I would say those unnecessary friendship that, you know, were not helping us to grow. So quit some bad habits, quit some wasting time, those some other things that I knew that were not adding values to me, in order to gain something that I knew that would change my life. The same thing that I wanna still give one example at my work. You know, I needed to step up at work, you know, to reach a certain level. And in order to do that, you know, I had to lose some nights because I had to read some more. I had to attend some additional training, you know, have some coaching, you know, and, you know, giving up something, it doesn't necessarily gotta be money or gotta be something, but even your time. If you wanna grow, you know, you need to save your time for that things that you are willing to learn. You don't wanna waste your time like doing unnecessary things. One of the very quick examples that I wanna mention is internet. A lot of people, you know, they go to the internet, like Facebook, they stay there hours, but they are not learning anything, they're not gaining anything important. But if we use our internet intentionally, you know, to investigate, to learn something that you really need to know for your growth, doing so, you actually giving up something to add something or to gain something in your life. I still have one quick example. I don't know if I have enough time, but I have a friend of mine in the United States. She was giving an example of herself. She lost one of her the right leg, and you know, she had to be a very strong person, you know, to overcome it. And at it, she learned that, well, in order to gain or to become somebody very important, she had to study hard because she didn't want to be like ignored because of a condition. And she changed completely to a different person. Now she is one of the top, you know, person at the White House. She's a secretary of one of the very important person at the White House. So those are the very quick examples that I can mention.
So Thomas, thank you very much your explanation. I mean, you made it clear. So I'm really on board with everything you said. I don't know if Mr. Puna had something to add with that.
Yeah, of course. Life is something up and down. When I say something up and down, it means that there are moments we leave things and that there are moments we gain things. So it means that when we give up something, it means that we need to gain different thing than what I left. Remember, nowadays we are now using like this opportunity as an internet and other applications. Nowadays, if you ask people how many times they used to write a letter using a ball pen, using a paper. Now we can see that most of us, we've forgotten writing a letter. What now we used to do is using your laptop, using your cell phone, and you write directly from cell phone, from internet, from your laptop, and you send the message. It means that we've given up some habits, like writing a letter, send it to our family from Namibia to Angola, from Angola to I don't know, health. And it doesn't mean that we don't need to do it again, but it means that times are coming up, things are changing, and we need to follow the advantages of this change. If we see that this is the advantages of this change, we profit this. If when we think that we don't need to profit it means that it doesn't make sense for us nowadays or today. So that's why I am really agree with this statement that normally when we give up, we gain something, or we gain something and we give up something else. So that's why with this point of view from Maxwell, I do believe that it's really profitable, and I'm sure that in another way, when we think to give up, it means that we are learning, because it's just easy when you learn to discover that, well, what I've done probably is not a good thing, and let leave it, let me change another way. It means that you have learned, because when you haven't learned, it means that you didn't discover nothing important, nothing with advantages to be learned. So this is the first point of view I had now.
Thank you very much. Hey guys, you guys nailed it down. So with the examples that you guys gave, this brings us to question number 2, that we have what decisions have you taken for your level of growth? Thomas gave example, Mr. Puna also gave example, so there's no need for us to go back to this question. So now, next thing what we're gonna do is our next level of worth. So Max Dupree, he said, by avoiding risk, we really risk what is most important in life, reaching towards growth, our potential, and a true contribution to a common goal. That is his quote that was written by John Maxwell on the book Leadership Gold. Now, why do you think that people don't like taking risks? I want to start with Mr. Puna.
Yes. Normally people don't like to take risks because they're afraid. Normally we don't need to take risks because we are afraid to commit mistake, or probably to die, probably not to be lost. So, well, there are many reasons we may take from this point. I don't need to take risk because probably I wouldn't like to fail. I wouldn't like to be not that you're incompetent. I wouldn't like to be someone, well, probably you're not important among people. Probably I wouldn't like to lose my family. Well, there are many, as I said, many reasons are behind of these questions. That's why. But when we come up with facing this risk, because we are ready to face this different risk, or we are ready to come up or to gain what we really think that is a risk. The reason why there are few people, but a little few people normally are ready facing risk. Most of us are afraid by facing risk. But what we need encourages people to face risk. That's why we have to do it frequently if we need to avoid this kind of situations. And that's why let's come that say that most of us are afraid of taking risk.
Thank you very much. Very good explanation. I agree with you. I agree with you. Well, I know Thomas, maybe he wants to add something. If not, then just say, okay, or you want to add something?
Yeah, I do. I want to say that there are two types of people in the world. I would call them the optimist and the pessimist. So when it comes to life or growth, normally unsecured people, they are part of those pessimist person. They want to work or they want to take life at the safest zone. They don't want to take risks. They're kind of like if I try, I may lose money. If I try to do that, I may not succeed. And normally those kind of people or the pessimist people, they hardly succeed in life because they're always working on the safe zone. But what I would suggest, us and even those involved in around us is for us to become real optimists. If we really want to grow in life, we got to be committed first, commitment, and then we must become optimists. Optimists are people that, when they say something, they know the risks are there, but they work on their path to work on those risks in order for them to succeed and reach their potential. So that's my concern. So we all become more optimism in what we are willing to do in our life. Thank you.
Well, very good. And I agree with you with those two type of people that you gave an example. I believe falls under to what Mr. Puna just said. A very good example. And thank you very much for bringing those up. So moving on, we say the higher we go, the harder it is to make trade-offs. The higher we go, the higher the risk for you to take trade-offs. I tell you what, it makes really sense. Now, we say that many leaders today climb halfway up the mountain of their potential and stop there. Let me repeat this one. Many leaders today, they climb halfway up the mountain and then they reach their potential and then stop over there. The question is, why do you think this happened to some of those leaders? Mr. Thomas, do you want to start?
Yeah, actually, this is a true statement. And we've been seeing it because we try. Normally, this happens because I'm looking at the people around me or below me, and I may say, well, I'm the best. I'm at the top. So if I'm at the top, all of them, they are just below me. So I'm the highest, then I don't need to keep growing. You feel comfortable, you stay at the zone, you feel like I'm at the safe zone. And from here, nobody will reach me, nobody will reach at my level. And then you stay kind of like, you stay at your comfort zone. But that's not the case, we growing is an ongoing process, in my opinion. We need to probably start cutting that kind of thinking, because we've mentioned that the very last time that we don't need to compare with low people or people at our level or people at our top. You need to compare yourself, you and yourself. So if you're really a successful person, your aim, you need to keep growing. That's what we mentioned about trade-off. We need to see ourselves, well, if I reach it here and this is what I am now, means that I can still go, I can still make some more. And I need to keep giving up some bad habits because I want to keep moving up. So that should be the vision, not looking at ourselves and saying that, well, I'm at the top and nobody else has what I have, the ability that I have, the money that I have, the worth that I have, then I'm good. So I can stop. So that's a big mistake.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And thank you very much for your contribution. So before I want to add some more thing, maybe Mr. Puna, you want to add some more?
Just a few things, yes. Let me see when normally Maslow used to say in terms of the conditions of everybody, every people. Normally, when we have the many conditions, normally we need water, we need food, we need our clothes, we need a house. But there is the last level he used to mention, which is the satisfaction, which means that when we reach on the top, when you reach in that level, you think that you have done everything. But what I'd like to say with this point, normally, these kind of people, when they think that they've grew and they've reached to the top, they believe that they've finished everything and they've done everything. But I'm not agree with this point, because I'd like to give one example, which normally has been happening. Remember, normally when we have people who are studying, they used to say, well, let me finish my degree, my license degree, and when I finish my license degree, well, I think that my life will be okay, and that's enough. And another one you say, well, let me say my doctorate. When I reach my doctorate, well, there I think that I'll be over. This is one of idea that this kind of idea is that those kind of people are the ones that they are limited. They are limited. Yeah. What we need to say that in spite of reaching on top, but you need to reach, you need to learn every time, you need to research every time, and you need to share every time. It doesn't make sense when you reach on the top and you believe that, okay, well, my life is over, it's okay, that's enough. Well, I think our sense in the life is keeping on learning, is keeping on finding different ways so that you have to balance in between people, among the people. So that's why this topic and this sentence, well, makes sense, but we need to advise people that we cannot stop. We just stop when we die.
Mr. Puna, you got it correct. I believe last week when we talked about you cannot give what you don't have. You as a leader, you mentioned it correctly in the minutes before. You said technology comes and we need to use it and all this and that. Think about you a leader and you are not using the technology. You don't know anything about new project. You don't know anything about something new coming up. You won't be able to share or teach or show other people how to do it because you are not on board with everything. So that's why you cannot give what you don't have. It makes sense in this question. And again, another chapter on this book, I believe is chapter number 17, which says, keep learning to keep leading.
Keep leading.
If you stop learning, I believe your leadership will be at some point that you don't know what to do because you stop it. So as Thomas said, you need to be intentional. Being intentional, you are afraid to stop because by stopping, you're stopping your leadership. You need to keep learning, to keep growing, for you to keep leading people. Thank you very much for your contribution on this question. So now that we have 10 trade-offs that we have on the leadership goal that we will be using maybe in coming days or maybe today, you don't know when, but those are the 10 that we have on the list. For the people that are listening to me on Facebook that can see, if you don't see, then I can just read them for you guys. So trade number one is the trade of affirmation for accomplishment. And then the second one is the trade security for significance. And then third, trade financial gain for future potential. Number 4, trade immediate pleasure for personal growth. And then number 5, trade exploration for focus. 6, trade quality of life for quality of life. And then trade acceptable for excellent. And then trade addition for multiplication. Trade the first half for the second half. And then the last but not the least is the trade your work for God for a work with God. Let me repeat this last one. Trade your work for God for a work with God. And below we have all these 10 lessons will serve us in some ways along the way. And underneath that is a question. Looking at all these 10 trade-offs that we have on the list, on the book, and we have them every single day. The question is, which of the 10 trade-offs resonates you the most and why? For me personally, I can tell you all of them are important. The 10 of them are important, but above all, I can tell you that the number 10 is above everyone. Now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to start with Mr. Puna.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm really agree with your starting when he said all of the sentences here are true. I'm also agree on it. Yeah, although it's not easy to select.
Not easy, yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to select. But anyway, we are obliged to select. If we are obliged to select, I'm also agree with the last sentence, because our sense is because of God.
Yeah.
If we exist, because there is someone who created us. Nothing we can do without God. Everything we tend to do, everything we think to do, depends on what the value of God or what the acceptance of God. If God doesn't accept of what you need to do, nothing will happen. If it happens, probably will happen bad.
Yep.
But I'd like also to select another sentence, like sentence 5. When I was reading this, because most of us, we need a focus in our life. We need to reach somewhere. That's why I used to say last session when we had, if you don't know where to go, it means that everywhere you can go. This is Shakespeare used to say that. That's why with the 5 sentences, with the trade exploration for focus, this also makes me sense, because now if I want to be a good leader, because I want to focus on something, because I need to bring up my team to come with what we need that may happen, with what we need that it will help our leadership. It may help our way of sharing with different people. So this is what I'd like to say. If I really choose the number 10 and the number 5, although all of them are really relevant.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, let's give time to Mr. Thomas. We have 1 minute to comment on this one. First, select which one resonates you more, and then explain why.
Thank you very much. Man, I would start like admiring our guru, John Maxwell, because that man it's not easy, but he deserves it to be a number 1 leadership expert in the world. When you look at these 10 trade-offs, we look at the 10 commandments in the Bible. You know, it's hard to say which one is the most important. And then, you know, actually in the Bible, it was summarized that love those, you know, close to you the way you love yourself. That's how they summarized it. But this one comes to what I am in life, me, myself. I would go, you know, I know everything we do, we need God. But I'm looking, you know, at my life, what has been most of the time taking me kind of like, I'm planning to do something, but I don't reach it. I don't get to the top or to the goal, final goal of the purpose. Most of the things that it's real or has been really hard to me, you know, I will go with the number 4, trade immediate pleasure for a personal growth. I see this one like is one that stacks, you know, most of us to grow. Sometimes it's not easy for you to give up. Let's say you are among friends, you guys having a fun, you're drinking, you're eating, you're chilling out, and you have a commitment. I mentioned that word earlier. You have a commitment, you have a meeting, and you don't want to miss this meeting because you know that if you miss this one, you know, you're taking part of your growth plan behind. You know, if I have to be honest, this one has been resonating me a lot. Immediate pressure. This works even in our real life because it's not easy for you to give up something that, you know, it's pleasing you, you are happy with that. Let's say you are in your comfort zone, you are well, healthy, and you need to give up this thing in order to gain something. That's what I would call immediate pressure. You are happy now, sometimes you don't want to see tomorrow. And what you gotta see tomorrow is your growth plan. So to me, number 4 is really a trade-off part of my life. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. So I had a little issue with the internet, but hey, thank you very much with all those that we have right now. They really make sense. And thank you very much for selecting number 4. Again, you made it clear. Believe me or not, that really makes sense. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys again. All right, so you said, okay, you selected the number 4, no, number 3, and then Mr. Puna selected number 5 and the number 10. To be honest with you, when I was reading this book and today, this morning, I said, wow, we're gonna have a very good discussion, a very good topic today, because look, as I said, all of them are really good, are really important. And according to what Thomas was explaining, it really makes sense. Immediate pleasure. And it's quick fix. We call it quick fix. Quick fix is something that a lot of people want. Hey, give me this for this reason. They don't realize that, well, for you to be something, you need to do something. They forget this. They want quick fix. Let me give a very good example. When we started this training, I said it will take 10 weeks. Then everybody was excited. Oh, I'm going to attend, leadership class and all this and that. So I will be a good leader and all this and that. Quick fix. Now think about how many people we have still attending this training. Regularly 3, 4 max. Because all the rest of those said, well, I don't see where I'm going with this training. Let me just quit and that's it. Let me repeat. For you to be something, you need to do something. And Mr. Puna, you mentioned about trade exploration to focus. I do agree with you. If you want to go everywhere, you will end up going nowhere. You will be good at nothing. I like giving an example. I tell you what, I used to be one of those guys who wanted to do everything, almost everything. Try a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. At the end of the day, 0. I didn't do anything at all, because there is no focus. When you find your why, you find direction, and you will work towards that direction. And I believe you will have a goal to reach every single day. And at the end of the day, you succeed. So I really agree with what you guys have said, and thank you very much for bringing this up.
Yeah,
Let's move
Simon,
on to, yeah, Thomas, go ahead.
yeah, just go back. Just a very another quick example to what you just mentioned. You know, I would say that everyone is a star, and you know, our aim, our will is to become a superstar. But how can we become a superstar is what matters. It's just kind of like a willing to do something and doing it. John Maxwell, once he was running a meeting, and there was a young boy told him that, John, I want to become like you. I want to become a great leader. And he just asked him, so what are you doing to become a great leader? He said, well, nothing. I'm not doing anything, but I really want to become a great leader. So you see, that's the starting point. Sometimes we're willing to become something, but we are not really doing or following the process for us to get there. Becoming a star is like becoming, I'm mentioning about, you know, like a trading, I think that's trading number 7. Trading acceptable for excellence. You know, that's what every great leader or everyone that is willing to grow should be looking at himself. To me, this could be a very great discussion, actually, because each of these affirmations or each of these trade-offs, you know, it really works in our life. How do we trade our behaviors? How do we trade something in order to gain something? So I will just like reinforce the team. We are a star because by the time that we agreed to become a part of this team, we were already star. We had a dream, but we probably, or most of people, as Simon said, we were more than 10. But some people, they just gave up. You know, they had a dream, but they did not have a goal. You know, when we have a goal, we know exactly what's gonna take us, no matter what, how difficult, but we will be there. So that's the many concern. We need to give up from star to superstar. Thank you very much, Simon. That's what I had.
So I would highly recommend, my friends, if you go to a bookstore, find this book by Zig Ziglar. He says it's goals. You need goals for something. And one of them that came after this book is this one here. He calls it Born to Win. This one here, believe me, it's a very good book. Born to Win. Thomas, you said it, we are stars. Of course, we were born to win. When God created us, he didn't say go to fail, no. Born to win. If you put that positive thinking in your head, in your mind, I mean, your mindset always positive, you will reach it. And again, as you can see, it's written there in red. All these 10 lessons will serve us in some ways along the way. So we may select 1, 2, or 3, or 4, but all of them are important. So thank you very much. So moving on now, we said, are you willing to give up to go up? That is our last topic that we are going to discuss right now. So we said to be an excellent leader, I think we must learn to travel light. You must learn to load off before trying to reload. You must learn to take something off before you try to accept something. The question that we have there to discuss is, what are the things you have given up to go up since the beginning of this training? Because as I said in the beginning, myself before, I was somebody, but after going through this training, reading all this material, being trained, being mentored by John Maxwell and his faculty member every single day, I'm a different person. To be honest with you, one thing that I do every single day, you see, the cell phone, this cell phone has a lot of things to do. If the first thing that you do every single day when you wake up, touch your phone, make sure, ask yourself, I'm going to touch the phone, what is the benefits or benefit for using the phone as a first thing? Maybe it's a praying. Before you wake up, you do a praying, a 5 minute to pray, all this and that. Well, it's something good, a positive mindset. So coming back to the question, what are the things you have given up to go up since the beginning of this training? I want to start with Mr. Puna, my friend in Lubango.
Yes. Well, since I started these sessions, one of the things I really reduced doing is taking a lot of time by using internet with not relevant things. When I could see, chiefly with these materials, what I use every morning, I have my tablet. Normally, I open the book and I try to read, and I select one of the sentences that I realize that may help for a day. Before I go home, I will go to work, my place where I work. Normally, I try to read this material and I find what kind of sentence will help me during this moment I'm going to work. And remember that, and you may agree that now, normally, when I open my cell phone, I'm not for a long time using Facebook. If I use Facebook, normally for those things that I need, or to teach others, or to share others with others, or to learn from others, but normal things that I think that it will help me. Not just looking on pictures, looking at, I don't know, that bullshit situations that cannot make sense with my life and with my everyday life, my activities I used to do. This is one of the things that I've changed since I started this session. Another thing I changed is normally I use, when I go to my office, I normally, before starting switching on my computer, normally I mention what I'm going to do now during the day in my office. Normally this I used to do it at home. And sometimes I used to do, but normally when I go, because I may plan from home, but you know that we have leaders. When you have your leader, when you go to the office, normally you find different orientations. So you have to replan. So when I got this new orientation, well, I sat down and I replan and I think, well, now I can keep on working with this new situation. This I learned from these sessions. From this session, I had this habit. And nowadays I can say that now I have more time for reading this, for trying to become a different leader and trying to help other people, chiefly my fellows, my colleagues. Yeah, this is what I have from now.
Thank you very much for sharing your changes. And it looks like that is a positive change. What about Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, actually, again, to gain something, we must give up something. To me, this training has changed my life positively. You know, I was kind of, you know, as we mentioned the other time, we all a leader, but what kind of leader are you? That's the question. We have great leaders, we have bad leaders, we have different types of leaders. But what type of leaders are you is what matters. And to me, I would start at my personal life. I was kind of a leader that I was not really focused, especially on my growth plan. Since I began this training, every morning when I woke up, the very first thing that I do when I pick up my phone is to listen to motivational tape. And I would suggest that one to the team. You know, you go to YouTube, there are a bunch of motivational speech to start your day positively. And this is what I was always been willing. Because when we start our day positively, we're gonna end up having a great day and a very productive day. Because those motivational speakers, you know, I would mention like John Maxwell, I would mention like Les Brown, Miles Monroe, you know, Thomas and some other great motivational speakers. They have that experience and they have changed my life. And again, I learned that every day I must learn something. You know, at the end of the day, I need to ask myself, what did I learn today? How did I gain my day today? You know, personal growth, professional growing, this is very important. And I want to add that, as Mr. Puna said, it's okay, it's good for us. Like from that, I started having agenda, because when you write what you're going to do, what your day is going to be, this helps you to follow up. And at the end of the day, you're going to say, well, I made it or I did not. And if I did not, why didn't I make it? And we've learned that we don't tend to repair a day. We want to live the day. So this has been a very, very focused training, you know, that has lightened my mind positively. Even at work, now I see myself, well, I don't want to continue being a routine worker, like doing what I do every day. The very last time, I want to mention an example of myself. I sat down with my boss, my supervisor, and I asked him, what is your plan? What plan do you have for me? Because we're working, I would like to know, what plan do you have for me? And if we are working on that plan or not. So, you know, this training has opened up my mind, you know, and now I see things differently. When I think on something, I know that in order to get it, I need to have this focus. I need to work on this. I need to work on that. I need to contact this guy. I need to contact this one. So this training, let's get this training as an open up world. This training has taught me how to connect with people, how to create a teamwork. And even as a leader at work, I've changed it. You know, I've learned how to add values to other people, you know, because most of our African leaders, we know that they are selfish. And this training has taught me that we are not to be selfish, but to add values to people, to produce leaders. And this training has helped me, you know, to focus on this. And, you know, daily, I look to people, any opportunity that I have, no matter where we are, but I tend to add something to somebody. So that's how I gain my day daily. Thank you very much.
Thomas and Mr. Poon, I want to say thank you very much for everything that you just said. Here's one thing I got from Mr. Puna. Mr. Puna said, since the beginning of this training, he has created the habit of reading, going back to this book, because he knows I've got something that I need to do today, and I need to add value for other people, where I'm going on my way in the office and all this and that. That is a very good thing. Another thing that you mentioned was using Facebook. Let me tell you something. Oh, Lordy. A lot of people today don't realize how much time they lose, putting their fingers, their eyes, their attention all the times on Facebook. Me at home today, they call me Mr. Max John Waxwell is coming, because if I'm going to use internet for one reason, I tell them, look, I'm going to use internet because I have a purpose. If I get it, I tell them, look, I was on the internet for this reason. People using Facebook for no reason, making friendship that don't add value at all. And then at the end of the day, they ask themselves, what did I gain? Nothing, nothing. Thomas mentioned about being concentrated on what you are doing per day. He said, you need to prepare the day for you not to repair the day. Oh, that is real. Because if you don't prepare today, what you will do tomorrow, you want to repair what you didn't do yesterday. A lot of people keep themselves focused on the future. What we say, well, in the future, I want to be this. In the future, I want to be this. Ask them a question. What is future for you? You see, I was taking a training the other day with John Maxwell. He said, for me, future is just a future. It's just a future because it's uncertainty. You don't know. Keep concentrated on today. If you keep concentrated on today, then you will live future, because the future is today. So those are the things that I captured from you guys. And Mr. Thomas also said, early motivational speakers. Oh yeah, that's real. The other day I was in Malongo in my bedroom. I said, well, maybe I'm willing to write something. This is what I put. My friends, your mind needs something positive as an ingredient to be positive every single day. Because by the time you wake up, you think negatively, your day is gone. Forget that you will have a very good day because your mindset is already thinking negative thing. So always think positively, give your mind positive ingredients. I believe you will get there. Thank you very much for sharing your everything. Thomas, you want to add some more?
Yeah, Simon, just a very quick thing that I want to mention, because we are here to add values to each other. One of the very important things that I have come up with is to realize that in life, we all need mentors. And I see this as a gift, especially to us African. We hardly have mentors in life. I have a friend of mine in the US. She has more than 9 mentors. Well, she's mentioning about physical mentors, those that she can call and consult, ask for support. But for us here, what I would like to reinforce is like, we don't need to have necessarily all of them like physical contact. We know how we can reach them by phone, by internet, but anyhow, their experience, their opinions, they value us. And there are times like myself, I woke up, you feel like, well, I don't want to do anything. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but there are times in life that we are in low mood. You don't want to do anything. You just want to live your day without any focus, without any plan. And anytime you feel that way, you need something, you need somebody to boost you up in order for you to gain the day. And this could be a tape, this could be a phone call, this could be like reading a book from somebody, but a book that you're gonna read intentionally, because we're mentioning here about intentionally living. So don't let a 5 minutes day, you know, to spoil a 24 hours day. Because there are times that at work or let's say in life or home or anywhere, you know, you had a little argument with your, let's say your spouse or somebody, family, and then you want to take these, you know, to spoil your day. Don't let it happen. Don't let 5 minutes of bad mood to spoil your day. So this is how actually this training has changed me. So this is what I just wanted to add. Thank you very much.
Very good, very good. So I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Puna and Mr. Thomas, for being on the call with me today. So the other question that we have underneath, we have already kind of like given an example for these 5 or 10 minutes that we had on things that we already started doing and giving up and all this and that. So summarizing everything, I want to say thank you very much for being on the call with me today. And thank you very much for your investment today. All I can say is you guys have added a value to me. I've learned a lot from you guys. And Thomas mentioned this, we need to have a mentor. Because when you have a mentor, you're always gonna have something that you didn't know. You don't feel like, well, I know everything and I'm good and no, you don't know anything. Because every step that you reach, you will know that I don't know anything. Then you move up again, oh, I don't know anything. So as he said, you need to be intentional. If you grow and get stuck at the mountain, at the top of the mountain, you're done. Because tomorrow is another day, is another challenge. You need to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep leading. So that is what I have. So, Mr. Puna, how you have 1 minute for you to say the last word.
Well, my last word is to say that I'm really sorry when I feel people not prepared at learning. I'm really sorry. What I'd like to advise people, they need to invest every day. They need to sacrifice themselves if they need to grow, if they need to grow, if they need to become a good mentor, so that one day you also may be asked to help others. Because as I used to say, we know nothing what I know. So it means that every day we find difference. Every day we discover that we know nothing. And when we have this capacity of discovering that we know nothing, it means that we need to learn every day. This is my advice, my last advice for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very quick. I want to start with our guru, our mentor, Mr. John Maxwell. You know, when he was asked, somebody asked him, "Hey, John, you have written a lot of books, you have read a lot, you have trained a lot of people. So when will you stop learning or writing?" He said, "I won't stop. But you want to keep writing, want to keep learning all this? Yes, but until when?" He said, "Until I die." Means that this is an ongoing process to our life. And this reminds me back to the question that we just answered, to what happens to the most leaders when they get to the top. You know, they stay there and they kind of like they don't want to grow anymore. I see that one of the reasons probably that makes them kind of like stuck or comfortable staying at the safe zone, because probably they don't look at the mentors above them to keep mentoring them, to keep aiding them that energy in order for them to keep growing. So this is something, especially in African leaders, it happens a lot. So we are the leaders to help those leaders that are on that condition to change. So let's be part of that team to take this message to our leaders, because we need to change. We need to bring changes in our country, in Africa, in the world. That's our aim. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Puna and Mr. Thomas, all I'm going to say is thank you very much again, as you can see on my screen. Thank you very much for your investment today. Tomorrow will be the payoff. See you next Saturday with another topic. I hope I have shared a lot with you guys, but to be honest with you, I learned a lot from you guys. See you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday, and profit and staying at home.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Mr. Poon. Enjoy that day.
Thank you very much. You also.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.